Ron, we're in the studio.
Yeah.
We out here, we're gonna not talk a little loud, but one of the, I'm not only, he's a great artist. But what do you call yourself actually? Are you an artist, you think, or?
Yeah. I guess. That's like as generic as can be. My work is all over the place, so I have to kind of keep it generic.
Okay, so when you say your work is all over the place, like where's some of your work at right now?
When I say all over the place, not in the sense of location, but in the sense of just aesthetically.
Okay.
Like, I don't call myself a painter because my work is so much more than that and not that at the same time.
So can you explain that right there? Like you said, it's so much more, but it's not that. So what is that exactly?
I don't know, if you think of painting, you think of literally paint on a canvas.
Yeah.
I use tons of paint, but it's not more so the same way you would think of when you think of a paint. When you think of a paint, you think of something along the lines of like Mona Lisa, where someone's painting a picture of some sort. For me, it's more so building construction. It's hanging, mounting, gluing, drilling. So depending on what day you catch it, depends on what you're gonna catch.
So that's kind of like where you get your inspiration from, in a sense.
Yeah, I pull from everything.
Okay, so give me an example of like something that you created art out of. Like that was just nothing, and then you turned it into your own kind of.
Like the first piece of work that I ever did was on glass mirror that like a friend's mom gave me because she thought I needed it for something. I don't know, I had it for like 2 years. Never used it. And then was stuck in my crib during Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
So I was in my house for 2 weeks because the city was shut down. And started playing around with spray paint, and there you have art.
So like, do you still have that piece, or do you have like pictures of it, or anything like that?
I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Now, I always think about stuff like that because I always be thinking about like, if you know how you look back at those pictures when you was younger, you're like, yo, that was really me. Like I look crazy. Like me when I was younger, I didn't have no ankles. I was that fat. I was serious. I was like really fat as a kid, but then I like lost weight or like just going hard and running and playing.
So I look back at it, and part of me is like, yo, my work is grown so much. I think that's what you're getting to.
Yeah.
But part of it is also like still the same. Like, yeah, you didn't have no ankles, but a lot of your features were still the same. You're still the same person. You just developed into something different.
Alright, so I have a question, right, about your journey to get into where you are right now. I'm not saying that you're like you're successful in your eyes as like the best you could be, but you are successful at what you do.
Not there yet.
For you, for what you think success is, right? But I want to know, and I know some people might want to know, like, what do you consider success?
Success is getting up every day, being happy to be awake because you're getting to do what you love. That's success.
Okay.
Being able to do what you want, when you want it, how you want to do it, as much as you want to do it.
So what are some things you do, like right now as a profession, like other than just doing your art? What are some other things?
Art teaching, curating, merchandise.
We never spoke about. Remember the thing that you had did at the school that you work at? Was it at the school or was it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you did a lot of things. It was the one that was, I think was sponsored by Starbucks. I think at that time.
Oh yeah, the service day. That was April of last year.
Yeah, how was that one? I know. Like,
It was like 300 volunteers. Essentially, I designed.
300 volunteers. How many people was there?
About 500.
That's a good turnout. What was that?
You look at it, man. My school.
That's like 8,000 people right there.
100 people give or take. So they had so many different products. Some people were building bookshelves. Some people were staining the bookshelves. Some people were cleaning murals. Some people were like doing. They had so many different jobs.
So where did that come from, like that idea?
Well, City is an organization that does projects like that year round.
Okay.
So I know some people over there, and they were looking for schools in Brooklyn. So they asked me, "Sure, I have like a school." And usually they put together the creative idea, the creative vision for what the project is. But considering I'm so ingrained in my school's culture, what they did was like, let me just think of everything.
Okay.
So I designed all the projects. I pretty much consulted on everything they did in that school period. And we just had to make sure we had enough work to keep 500 volunteers busy.
Yeah, that is a lot of work.
Well, 300 volunteers and 200 core members. It was from City.
But I didn't even get to say about the show and just kind of like say my daily thing I always say. We talk about the Raincheck, this is what it's called. And we call it Raincheck just for people that don't know, because we might hit a question that you may not want to answer. So we say give a Raincheck on that one. So this is, again, once again, this is Rain. This is Ron right here, and we out here just having a regular conversation. We loud. You see, busting down the burgers with the fries, nothing different. But we got a lot of art in here that's really nice, and
not that much in here.
It's not that much. It's enough though. It's enough. I definitely I like this frame. For some reason, I always like this frame that you had on your wall. Even like when you first came in, I know. I just like it for some reason. It's like one of those, you know, when you had like your shows and you have to frame up and take pictures. That's what it reminds me of. Like,
that's where, well, essentially that was my frame too. I ended up giving that to her. But in fact, I just built a new one for her too. That one broke years later. So I ended up literally building one from scratch just so it was made for it. That, it's either in the garbage, like in my basement.
But you know why I like the frame stuff? Because I feel like it's really a picture of you. You know, a picture's worth $1,000, right? You know, people hold it up, you can do anything with that. So I thought it was just like real interesting. But what I want to talk about too is discipline. And when I'm saying discipline, it's more so discipline in like how you got to where you're at because of your discipline. And maybe it'd be like for me, and I know you do this, right? But you do it way more than me in a sense. You don't drink. So when I say that you do it like you don't drink at all. Like me, I can't say social. I would have to say I would have to really, really be in the mood to drink because I don't drink at all like that. But how did you get to that point in your life to like not drink?
I never drank to begin with.
Oh, you didn't?
Nah, so it was easy. I just never did.
No, me, I used to drink. Like I used to drink, have fun, and all that. But then I just got to a point that I was tired of like paying for the drinks and paying to feel better. Like it was just like all this money.
Paying for the cab home.
Yeah, all that. It's like you're hurt. There's the hangover.
You wake up, passing out, throwing up. All that was never appealing to me. I was like, why don't we drink? I'm a control freak, so for me, I have to be 100% on all the time.
So when you say control freak, does that go into like even your art?
Detail. I'm very detail oriented.
So like something like really small can mess up the whole art thing for you, like if it's like a piece.
Won't mess it up. If I really mess up, that's fine. Like, not that I mess up, but I want to be able to control everything, every step of the process.
Okay, so the vision that's coming across.
Yeah. Like the vision has to be 100% where I wanted it to be when I started.
But I know it has to be like, you have something here or something you might want to talk about that like you started off with it one way and it came to something else and was even better than what you thought it was supposed to be?
No, when I say that, it's not in the sense that the vision, like I have ABC vision here, it has to be exactly ABC.
Okay.
Whatever mutation it takes from ABC to say CEF has to be under my control. If that makes sense. Like it can't be like, oh, like I messed up or it didn't work out the way I wanted to because I didn't have the tool I used, so I had to do something else. Like nah, if I don't have that tool to get it, I'm gonna make it happen the way I want to make it happen. If it grows organically into something else, sure, but I'm not gonna divert my path because it's like a walk. I'm just gonna go around.
You know what I like about that, what you just said about going to get what you want, is because I've been thinking about, and it's also how you kind of say, you said 2 in 1, going to get what you want, so it's like when you're investing in something, you said you got to get it.
Yeah.
Right? So, no, because a lot of people, they want to be stuff or do things, but they don't invest in it. Or they halfway invest.
Absolutely not. They don't.
And I think that that's like a really big thing. Like, for me, you know, I'm starting off using a phone, but I'm going to invest in myself and I'm going to buy this camera that I really want to make it better. But I think people are scared sometimes.
Or people make the mistake and think that you have to have everything needed to start.
Yes.
If you want to do art, you have to have a studio to start. You have to have all the paint to start. And I started with something, made do with what I had, took that, sold that, took that money, bought more. Yeah, and I was able to make more. Like it was just more so continuously reinvesting in yourself.
No, I understand that from you because I remember when I first came in your house at one time. First time I remember I was like stepping around mad art. You had like the room.
Put that in my house.
But I think that's the thing with people. They want to wait for that perfect moment, and there's no such thing.
Ever.
I don't even think people that are rich or whatever they had like a perfect moment. It was just they worked hard.
Just do it, yo.
Yeah, you just gotta do it.
They did it.
But how? I know you just do it, right? You say you just do it, but how do some people that need to work up the courage? What is something that you would tell them, like, other than just saying just do it? Like what is something that maybe can get them on the right track?
Understand what courage is to begin with.
Yeah.
Courage does not mean you're not afraid of something. It just means that you're still afraid of it, but you do it anyway.
Yeah.
So people are so afraid of it, but they're waiting for a feeling of I'm not afraid. That feeling's never gonna come.
Yeah, that definitely.
If you're waiting to not be afraid, it's never gonna happen. So just do it.
Just
Like,
do it.
it's just a matter of what are you gonna wait for? Wait for the rest of your life and be sick, you're stuck. 10 years later, you can't do anything.
But that's how I feel, and that's why I have like so much respect for you, because I feel like a lot of people, like what you did was like you really chased after your dream, like how you started off like just working in the house, and you used to work at where was you used to work at? You used to do
I'm working at Crunch. Law firm before that. Before art, yeah.
Yeah, before art. That's what I'm saying. But you stopped the law firm to go basically for your art, just to go work at Crunch and have more time to do the art. And a lot of people are scared to do that. They're very scared.
They're scared of not being able to get money.
Or not yet.
I was scared too.
Yeah.
But I was more so scared of regret.
That's the one thing for me too. And that's
regret
why
I can't live with myself. Like I can accept failure, I can't accept not trying.
I think that's it right there.
Like I'm not afraid to fail.
I think a lot of people are scared to fail, but they need to be more scared of not trying. Like you just said.
That is the best in the world.
Because it's an experience anyway. You know, you live and you learn. And you kind of grow from it.
Failure is the best thing to ever happen.
Some people don't accept it.
You fail, you learn. And once you fail, it's like, if Mike Tyson punched you right in your face,
I'm dead.
then what if you weren't?
No, I'm giving back up. Yeah, next time he might catch you.
What if it's like, oh, like I got hit in the face, it hurt, knocked the tooth out, I was still alive after. At that point, it's like, I can take a hit from Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you take it from anybody.
Take it from anybody. It's like, you can take it from anybody.
Nah, you're going to be ready. You're going to be like Tyrone. Just run around.
So once you feel that one good time fall flat in your face, you get up, it's like, I can take that.
Yeah, but some people are scared of that. I think that, you know what it is? I think this is something that I can say about that. That's funny that you said that. When I was younger, I used to like always like talk a lot and like get into stuff with people. And my brother was like, you know what? You talk a lot, but you gotta be able to fight. Even if you do get beat up, you gotta be able to get back up and just keep it going. And I think a lot of people are scared, like get so embarrassed. That kind of goes into well, I feel like a lot of kids nowadays use guns because they feel like if they can kill the power, they can kill the problem. But you really don't kill the problem, you make it worse for yourself.
The problem has nothing to do with the other person, the problem is you.
Yeah. And the guns don't make it better. And that goes for anything. Like, okay, so I know I'm speaking to you today, but I use the same thing every time I speak to somebody just in general about what my solution is towards the violence that's happening right now with the cops. And my solution, I'm not saying it's going to fix everything, but it's a step towards understanding a little bit more. I think like in each community, the cops should start having quotas of knowing new people in there, wherever they do the patrol at least it's 5 people a week. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know the people, then it won't be so much of like, I'm coming to the problem, I got to pull my gun out. It's more like, okay.
Community policing.
Yeah, it's what it is. And you're not scared because there's so many cops that stay on each block, but I know they don't talk to nobody but the.
I remember growing up, I felt like I knew mad cops. When you think about it, in high school, right?
No, you did. The PAL.
Think about it in high school, PAL, like you knew mad cops in high school. Like, I can remember all the cops in high school. School CP, there was still enforcement. I knew all of them. They were all cool. They weren't threatening to me at all.
Yeah, because you knew them.
I didn't feel threatened. It was just like, yo, I knew who they were. And who I was. It was just a community thing. I don't see why it can't be the same thing.
Yeah, so that's why but what do you think, like, for you, like, what do you think is something that can solve the problem, or what is, like, or how do you just
step in the right direction? Community policing is at the root. Because what happens is, it's like this inherent and intrinsic fear of black men. In the sense that the problem is bigger than them wanting to kill. It's not like I don't think these guys are just like KKK racists where they just want to kill people. They just don't know any better, and it was taught to them growing up or whatever experience they had that they have a right to fear the black man, and that's why they're in a more heightened sense of alertness and activity when they're in the presence of a black male, and they're already like fearing for their lives.
Yeah.
fact that these cops are growing up in these places. Racism was different.
It does.
Racism isn't the kid hanging people anymore. It's not people being hosed down. It's not like guard dogs being sick on us. Racism now is what is a systematic thing that allows people to think they are right for thinking how they think about us.
And that's the thing. That's bad.
It's like you think you're fearing us because you were taught by a racist system to fear us.
So, but don't see, for me, it sounds funny. You know how you see them, I can't think of the words right now, but you know the guys that be on the corner, the brothers, and they be talking stuff. I don't believe in everything they say, but I do understand some of the things that they say because where they're coming from, because I feel like it is a brainwash, or the system is kind of against certain things. So it's not like, oh, you're trying to be the righteous brother, but you really have to understand what's going on around here. A lot of people are really just stuck in their world, like, and they just feel like whatever they think is right. And it's not always like that. You gotta get facts behind it and stuff. So, yeah.
Community policing is definitely like a big thing. They need that because that's what levels out that fear. You realize that these dudes in the corner aren't so bad.
They're not. A lot of them guys that's on the corner are not even out there. They're just there because they don't have nothing else to do.
Like thinking about all the dudes we know in our corner, right? Like you walk in here, like you're like, oh, that's such and such. Or like they're in the corner. You walk in another hood, even as black men, it might be like, I don't know this dude. So all it is just unfamiliarity that's threatening to you.
Yeah.
Once you get to know someone, it's like, oh, not saying that they might be the best person, but you're familiar with what's going on.
Yeah,
it's not as threatening. You're afraid of what you don't know.
Yeah, and even if you do know it can be threatening, at least you can keep yourself away from it.
Exactly. Keep yourself away from it, or at least prepare.
Yeah, be ready for it. So it's like you come around and you know. So yeah, that's another definitely something to do. But what about like? So what? I was actually, matter of fact, I was watching a video, right? And they was talking about all the people that got killed. Not all of them, but about 23. And they was just saying how like one person got killed for just snotting, another person for selling CDs, for selling cigarettes, for going to the store. I'm just going down the line, sitting in the car by a club. Like it's scary right now because if you see people dying for those things, and then you're like. You're out there now, you want to fight people, you never know. You know, you might get pulled over, you're like, damn, I don't even know if I'm going to get home.
And then what happens there is the fact that police officers don't trust you, so they're scared of you, right? You don't trust police officers, so what happens with that? You become scared of that. And that becomes just like a crazy secular effect in the sense that they're scared, or you're already on your defense, and they're on your defense, and nothing ever good happens when two parties are on the defense.
Okay, so here I got something about that, right? Now, this is not going to just be targeted towards that. It's going to go a little bit more because we all know, right? So I want to talk about.
I feel like I know where you're about to go.
Communication. Mm-hmm. So you thought I was going there?
Kind of.
Well, really just communication, right? And relationships. It doesn't have. It can be any relationship, right? Because you have to have for you your. You do your artwork and everything. I know you probably have an assistant or somebody that works with you, so you have to have a relationship with that, right? Now, I have a question with that. Being that we, like as males, where you have your other partner, you're in a relationship. How does that work with you with the communication of like having an assistant and also the communication with your loved one? Like, how does that work? How does that work?
Communication is everything. Like, I make sure I try to be communication with people, period. Because most tension, most headaches, most conflict comes from misunderstanding. So even if it's like, yo, I couldn't be getting home at 11 o'clock. I'm like, yo, my fault. I forgot to tell you that, like, trains running late. People will assume the worst.
Yeah.
So you always have to make sure that, like, you're very clear on what things are.
Well, what are you saying? Okay, when you're saying about people are always assuming the worst, doesn't that kind of sometimes like make you as a person feel funny, like you're pushing off something to them, making them feel like the worst? Shouldn't you have?
I'm not saying the worst within a given situation.
Yeah.
Like the worst for somebody who's like, say for instance, like dude done cheated on his girl 20 times.
Yeah.
If he don't call her, the worst for him is like, yo, he's out there having sex with somebody else.
Or G's and all that, right?
Like all kinds of filthy nonsense. Like, or you have sex with a mother.
Yeah. You
So,
don't know.
but for different situations, like my situation, like if I don't call my fiance, or if I'm busy, or she doesn't hear from me, she's not gonna assume that I'm out with somebody else. She probably assume like, yo, is he okay? Is he dead?
Yeah.
So the worst is a very relative thing.
Yeah.
So me saying the worst doesn't mean every woman is ever gonna assume that you're cheating with somebody already dead. It just means that it's the worst for your particular situation.
Okay, so kind of going off of what you was just talking about in the sense of like the worst and also like cheating and stuff. Like, do you feel, right, with a relationship, if somebody cheats, do you feel like that relationship will ever be the same?
Depends on people.
Depends on the people.
If someone wants to accept it, sure. I've seen relationships, one party makes a mistake and they correct it and they move on. That really comes from the person being willing to accept the fact that it happened to the other person.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be forgiving enough that you can move on and start from scratch. What happens is people get back together and the one that got cheated on is like, in the back of their mind, they're always thinking that.
Yeah.
So you really didn't forgive. You're not supposed to forgive, but at the same time, you didn't forgive. Because forgiving means just starting from scratch. If you're taking somebody back,
Yeah.
it would be almost unfair to that person to take them back and treat them as if they're still cheating. And if you're taking them back, you're agreeing that we're starting off with a clean slate. Because if you didn't want to make this work, you would have taken me back to the beginning, or you would have taken the person back to the beginning. So it's not as if. That's what I'm saying. It's always unfair. Like, yeah, if one party cheats on the other and the other takes them back, yeah, they cheated on you, but yeah, you also took them back, which is a step in a direction that you have to honor. You have to understand that if you took them back for whatever mistakes they made, they're agreeing to not make a mistake. They're agreeing to not hold the mistake against them.
Okay. So right now, what I want to do is, I know you have an Instagram page,
Oh, damn.
and I know you have Facebook, and I want you to kind of promote it for yourself and kind of talk about it real quickly so you can have. I'm not saying I have like 1,000 followers. They're gonna start following me now, but it's still all about promoting. Yeah, it's about promoting what you do, because my biggest thing is not even just about black people, but I want to promote all people that are subject to like stereotypes.
At the end of the day, you know somebody that I don't know. So
Yeah. So I want you to tell them about and you can spell it out, because some people spell their names out different and all that good stuff, you know what I mean?
Or people just can't spell.
That too, you know, I'm not that good.
Usually people spell your name wrong. I know someone named Rain, R-A-Y.
Yes, people always
I know
spell
R-A-Y. I know R-A-N-E. I don't know the Rain, but I know someone, what's his name? Like, people with Rain, like the end of it, like Terrain, like, there's R-A-E-N, R-A-Y-N.
Yeah, like even with my name, my last name is Rickards with a K. People put an H, I said H. They put an H and then they tell me my name. So I say, no, my name is Rickards. They be like, no, it's Richards. I'm like, no, my name is Rickards. Like, yeah, it's like, it's crazy though, like sometimes with names. But yeah, so, you know, promote real quick, you know, tell them about your Instagram, your Twitter, and any other social networks. I would,
skip all that. You can just go right to Ronald Draper Art, RONALDDRAPER.ART.com. It's like the home of everything. So you can find all my social media hashtags there. You can find my social media handles there. You can find work. You can find information about events, products, all types of stuff. So don't even try to remember all that. Don't remember my Instagram, don't remember my Twitter. If you literally just go to RonaldDraperArt.com, my first and last name, but R-on-the-end.com, everything's sitting there waiting. Makes it easy.
And every show we get like, right? So we live. Hey, we live. But we about to be out, because we're gonna come back probably with another one, but stay tuned.
You got 2 phones, yo? What's that?